Welcome back to Munchausen's Proxy, where we once again turn our attention to that disaster area known as Disney. About 4 months ago, give or take, I did a rundown on the D23 Fan Expo, a show Disney put on for fans to see what Disney had in store for the coming year. One of those that I was highly doubtful of was Daredevil Born Again. As a matter of fact, I said this at the time. Now, if they were smart, which Phase 4, MCU, and Star Wars clearly show Disney is not these days, they will take the writing style of the Netflix series and just continue that. It has the potential to not only become the biggest series on Disney Plus, for Marvel at least, but it also has the potential to bring in subscribers, unlike the direct Marvel has put out over the last year or two. But I doubt they will be that smart. Sadly, much of my rumination of what a Disney Plus Daredevil series might mean came to fruition over the last few months, as leak after leak and announcement after announcement made me ever more certain I was right about what would be happening with Daredevil on Disney Plus. And more recently, new writers were announced that pretty much put the final nail in the coffin of my hopes for a good Daredevil series. Specifically, Disney decided to help people who have shown they suck at writing anything, never mind superheroes, and continue their path of failing upward. The most concerning of the new hires is Jill Blankenship, one of several people responsible for the desolate wasteland of creativity known as the CW. Ms. Blankenship wrote for Arrow, the most prominent of the 6 episodes being the backdoor pilot for Green Arrow and the Canaries. Oh, you haven't heard of Green Arrow and the Canaries? Well, that would be because it was so bad that even the CW was like, yeah, we're gonna pass on that one. However, as I said earlier, Miss Blankenship is on a fail upwards journey. CW decided to let her and Ava DuVernay, another writer who has found her niche, create and write a series based on a comic called Naomi. And if you have never heard of it, that would be because the CW ordered a half season of 13 episodes, and about halfway through that truncated season, they canceled the whole project. Was it really that bad? Yes. Yes, it was. I could barely get 10 minutes into the first episode before tapping out. And that was while eating and only having half of my attention on the show. Naomi was full of inane writing, questionable morals, and characters who were just plain unlikable. How do I know? Because I watched Az from HeelvsBabyface and Jayne Theory review the entire season, and it was much more entertaining watching them take it apart episode by episode than it would have been to put myself through watching that. I will leave links to that channel and Jayne Theory in the description for those interested in a good watch. So Blankenship, getting her incompetent hands on Daredevil is pretty bad. But who else did Disney decide to throw a life preserver to as they jump off the sinking ship of the CW? Grania Godfrey was also recently added to the writing staff on the series. Who is Grania Godfrey? Well, she started off at CW by writing on 4 episodes of The Tomorrow People, a series that was canceled before it finished the first season. She went from there to write on 1 episode of Arrow before landing at The Flash for 47 episodes. When DC Legends of Tomorrow started up, she jumped from Flash to that show for 20 episodes over 5 years, along with some producer credits for many more episodes. Are Daredevil fans feeling the warm and fuzzy about what Disney is planning for the next series yet? Well, there is more bad news. Actually, 2 bits of bad news. The first is something Charlie Cox said at D23 Expo. Quote, "My feeling is, based on the title, Born Again, I think that the sense is it's going to be a new beginning. It's going to be different. It's going to be tonally different," Cox said. "It is going to be a new series and new ideas." The actor also said, quote, "Like Kevin said, it's a season 1. It's not a season 4. So it's a whole new thing. Which is, I think, the right way to go. If you are going to do it again, let's do it differently." Unquote. And everything out of Disney Marvel since then seems to confirm that Daredevil Born Again will be a Disney-fied version of the character. It has been confirmed that it will be toned down, less violent, and the character's pretty good but lighthearted appearance in Spider-Man No Way Home and his dreadfully deconstructed and objectified appearance in the sludge that was She-Hulk seems to show that. This will not be your Netflix Daredevil, and with the CW connection now revealed, do not expect this show to be the driver of subscriptions it very well could have been. As with most of the shows Disney Plus has put out in the Marvel Universe, it will be saccharine and suitable for Disney. The fans' desires for the series never enter the minds of the people running the show at Disney these days, and Bob Iger's coup d'etat against Bob Chapek will definitely not improve that at all. Another Disney Marvel note, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is coming out in May 2023, and Marvel decided to demonstrate exactly why the comic book industry in America is going down the toilet, while manga from Japan and a few books from South Korea have been snapping up the younger generation for about 2 generations of comic book fans now. For a preface, in Japan, the manga studios sync the books, cartoons, and movies so that the characters you read in the books are the same as what you see on TV or at the movies. Why? Because it drives the sales and viewership numbers of all 3 media versions of the title. The books drive the viewers of the TV anime and the movies released to theaters, and vice versa. So what is Marvel and DC doing wrong? Well, first of all, nothing syncs up when it comes to their titles. The comic books are written by incompetent hacks who use the books as a platform to get into Hollywood, and so they cater to the worst excesses of Hollywood, making the books unpalatable to most who used to or would buy the books otherwise. Comic books used to sell in the hundreds of thousands to millions per title every month. These days, the top of the sales list is lucky to break 50,000. And what happens in the comics eventually gets incorporated in the Marvel Studios products. See the MCU Phase 4 for a plethora of examples on that one. However, what the comics contains is never in sync with the movies. Never mind the shows. So if someone who just saw Iron Man or Thor on TV or streaming goes into a comic shop wanting to buy a book of those titles, the guy or gal running the shop will plop down an Ironheart or Lady Thor book. And judging by the ticket sales and the audience scores on Metacritic, that is not what they will be wanting to see. And nothing on the screen will affect what the activists and wannabes at Marvel Comics put in their comics. There is no interconnectedness between the 3 media, and so they do not drive each other's sales. Why do I mention this? Because now, it seems, Marvel Comics is trying to sabotage the last Disney Marvel property left that they haven't either killed off or destroyed by trying to replace the main established characters with a diverse and inclusive replacement. How? In the latest Guardians of the Galaxy comic book, the writers and artists at Marvel Comics have decided to show exactly how badass the upcoming villain Adam Warlock really is by having him completely cucked by Eve Warlock, who is described as stronger, faster, and smarter in every way, who will strip him of his powers, starting with the Soul Stone, one of the Infinity Stones. Of course, this is not the first time Adam Warlock has been screwed over by the geniuses at Marvel Comics, but this time seems suspiciously close to the big screen introduction of the character in the upcoming Guardians movie, seeing as how the comic is being released in April and the movie releases in May. Disney just can't seem to help shooting themselves in the foot with not only Marvel but the rest of their IPs. And Daredevil and Guardians of the Galaxy are but the latest examples. With the mess that the Blade production has been in, and the news that it will be PG-13 rather than the R it deserves, I am sure it will not be the last. That is all I have for you this video. If you like what I do here, please hit the like button and share the video. Please subscribe to the channel and make sure the bell icon is clicked on so you are notified when new videos are uploaded. And leave a comment or constructive criticism below. It is all much appreciated. The next video will be the spoiler review of The Last of Us Episode 3, probably tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Tschüss.